gonna be some weird picture. Just discussing how Facebook Live decides to always take the worst snapshot for the main picture, even though I pause when I hit the live button like this. I'm like, and then suddenly Facebook Live goes like this. This is the picture that we're going to choose to put on your profile. And it's like this. It's so bad. Anyway, and that's my funny part of tonight. So, yeah. So, what's up? How was that for you? I see that Nene's in bed. I love that.
I love that too. I'm actually just a hair jealous.
Yeah.
I always do it.
Well, I kind of love that I've given up on changing my shirt. Like, I'm like, no, we're doing full PJs. I'll put on a little eye makeup and lipstick. Like, I am not pretending that I'm in something fancier than I am. I'm in pajamas.
The scarf makes it fancy.
The scarf makes it fancy.
Yeah.
You know, basically I'm wearing the scarf, just so you know, to cover up my décolleté, whatever. my cleavage, guys. That's why I'm wearing it. Let's be real. That's what's happening. Otherwise, it's these pajamas, just to make it unsexy very quickly. Very, very quickly. I'm pretty sure I wore them in the hospital when I gave birth. So, not sexy anymore. It's the post-birth pajamas that are super comfortable. Hey, Vin, where are you? I don't know where you are. Chrissy, hi. So there you go. But, I mean, basically, anything I wear has cleavage. So, the scarves are just there. Just to cover up. And they're making me a little hot. I'm getting a little schwitzy.
It's a cover-up.
It's a cover-up. It's all a cover-up. Everything is a cover-up. I was watching one of my favorite, whatever, social media people. She's hysterical. And actually, two of my favorite comedians on social media both had addiction battles, and they're both, like, prone to major depression. And they're the funniest freaking people. So funny to watch them, so inspiring to watch them. And I was making my mom watch one of the ones where she was like basically having her mind do self-deprecating talk, and the other part of her is like, what's wrong with you? It's just really funny. But I just love her, and she was doing like a makeup tutorial, which was obviously horrendously done wrong on purpose, and it was fantastic. So I'll have to post more of her because I fully support her. She's great. But the other one too is really, really, really good, and I just adore them. So yeah, so kindness in a different sense, right? So I did have that chat with myself in the mirror this week that I mentioned at the end of the meditation, and it was really the first time that I had said it differently. It's usually more of a different type of self-talk, and this one was very, very real, and it had a lot more compassion to it. So that was helpful for me. I was able to take myself out of this forced, like, but Vanessa, I love you, but Vanessa. And this was really more of a, hey, like, I see you, as if I was talking to another person. I see you, and I see you're having a hard time, and I'm going to help you, I promise. And it was a different feeling entirely. So that was really interesting. So I thought I'd share that because, I don't know if you'd call it a tactic or whatever it is, but it is a different way of seeing it. So instead of thinking of me focusing on myself, I was thinking of what would I do if this was somebody else? My God, I would try to help them. And how would I do that? And it was really a beautiful moment, a sad moment too, but very beautiful. And I don't know, I kind of I'm more inspired now to focus on helping myself because I'm not thinking of myself as like myself. So I don't know if there's a right and wrong way of doing these things necessarily. I think whatever works. And in this moment, that's what's going to work for me, I think. So, and that's going to unfortunately include the food that I intake. So I might be cranky pants for a little while. Fair warning. You probably won't see it, but you might see a little bit of my complaining on Facebook of like, I don't want to eat this. I want all of the gluten. but I know it's time because I'm getting itchy. So we got to make some changes. I might speak in the royal we.
That I have to refill medication.
Yeah. I might speak in the royal we, so that's also a fair warning. That might happen. Got to get that self-talk in there somehow, so it might be like, and we need to do this. We. So, did anybody do the soul-fulfilling mind mapping? Be honest and then lie to me. Or lie to me and then be honest. I don't know. Whichever one. Not formally. Okay.
No, I did not do it, and yes, I will do it.
Okay, so please, how's this? Please do it tonight. If it's something that you could share, then please share. Because I feel like this one might not be as intimate as you would think. We don't have to put your name on it, but if it is something that we can share with our friends, because that really does help direct people on not only how to do it, but kind of inspiring of this community thing, then please share with me and we'll take a nice Instagram shot so that we can show people and teach them what it's like to do this stuff on a constant basis. And then what should we do for homework? What do you think? If the focus is an exploratory type of kindness, serving the soul, allowing the soul to be free, so this might take a little bit of thought. Because we focused on kindness before, but like I said, this is a different type of kindness. It's really, really more about that vulnerability. And that humbleness brings out a lot of, there's no room for ego with humbleness. So, ain't no room there. So, all right, so we're going to think about this for a minute. If you guys got anything, you'll let me know. You guys can type too on Facebook. Hopefully I'll see it. Sometimes I don't. Let's see. I mean, Vinny's asking where he is. I don't know what that means, Vin. But he's like, where am I? I don't know. I'm in my husband's studio. Oh, Christy, I didn't get to see it, but I spoke with all of you tonight with love. Oh, you spoke of us? We love you too. And we miss you too. Listen to it later when you can. And I hope mommy's good. True that. True that, yo. So, my thoughts on that type of kindness is like, if we're looking for that vulnerability, right? So, a lot of it would quickly, for me, be a simple smile with eye contact. And I've done this exercise many, many times in spiritual settings, and it never really got easier. So I find that fascinating. I remember one time we were walking through an indoor labyrinth, and if you came across somebody, you had to lock eye contact, and it was so uncomfortable. Like it never got easier. And that was like an expected setting, so I thought that was always kind of funny. You're like, why isn't it getting easier? Like, and most of us had known each other a little bit, and I was like, this is so strange, it should feel better, but it just didn't. So I think that might be part of it too. So if we're outside, particularly during this time, and everybody's like judging the masks and whether or not you're wearing one, the type you're wearing, I mean, God forbid it's like not coordinated or whatever the heck it is. Like, people are crazy. So letting all that flail away, all we have left is what? Up here, right? And you can barely tell if somebody's smiling. I mean, I can't recognize people. Somehow they recognize me. I don't get it. But I'm like, really? What? This part of me is very recognizable, apparently. So now it's going to be a different type of challenge because you can't even see somebody's smile, really, right? So what can we do, even on the streets, to get that positive type of influence over somebody? Eye contact with a little wave. We can actually say hello. We're like, I don't know. What can we do, guys? We're panicking. I don't know. How do we do this? A little smile.
I actually had two neighbors today.
Yeah.
One said hello to me, and I don't know her from anywhere.
Perfect.
She clearly lives in the building. She was doing her laundry, and she was literally other end of the hall, and it's a very long hall.
Right.
And she yelled down the hall, "Hi!" I'm like, she must be talking to me. I'm the only one here.
Perfect.
So I waved back. Hi. And then after I came home from my massage, a random neighbor knocked on my door. I know she lives in the building, but I'm hard pressed to even tell you what floor. And she said, I went downstairs to pick up my my dinner, and a Grubhub driver dropped yours off, so I thought I'd bring it up to you.
Aw.
I was like, oh, thank you.
Right.
She could have just rung up and made me come.
Right.
That was very easy for her to do. And it only just now registered that she didn't have a mask on. But what? Just now. So that's 5 hours. Right.
And I just realized that something was not...
And just now I figured it out.
It's all good. Well, you know, Kristen.
Just now figured it out.
I think it's funny because I definitely go from like a ultimate awareness of it to like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Something's not right. It's like your underwear is not on. Where the hell happened?
They could be not wearing pants.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
The mask.
The mask is like underwear. Just say it, people. It's an intimate object now. When we see a mouth, we're like, ooh, what's that? What's that thing on your face? It's lovely.
Right. And she was talking to me, and I'm like, and just now I'm replaying it in my head. I'm like, oh my god, you didn't have a mask on.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It was very funny.
Nah, it's all good, right?
Clearly, I can't be judgmental. It took me, what, 4
Clearly,
hours
it took me 4 hours to figure that one out, so...
Clearly, I can't be judging her.
You were so grateful that you brought up your damn food.
So nice of her.
Whatever, that's right. Yeah.
I had spaghetti and meatballs. Your fault, Vanessa.
You're welcome. By the way, the Greek food, boo.
Oh no, you're looking forward to that.
It was not good, which was funny because I manifested it, but I really wanted diner Greek food. And yeah.
She was
and Bill ended up spending $50, by the way, on that Greek food. I was like, oh, so we could have gotten the better diner food. Because really, Lighthouse Diner, people. Lighthouse Diner. Just giving them a shout out. Lighthouse Diner. Better than most other restaurants. So, anyway. Yep. It's all good. So I do want you guys to kind of brainstorm with me. What other kind of things can we lend that vulnerability to? We're not sure what we're getting back at. Checking in with somebody is something, believe it or not, because it is, because it doesn't always feel good if they don't get back right away. What else? What about even donating to places, but it has to be more personal than that. So maybe like a GoFundMe, and instead of putting your name, do anonymous. Which is hard for me to do, by the way. I have a very difficult time doing that. Because I always feel like... I do. I have a hard time doing that. I'm being completely honest. Not because I want the accolades, because I want them to know that I did it. It's more of like a check-off list. I'm like, I just want you to know that I was thinking of you, and I did that. So it doesn't even matter about the amount. But truthfully, I want to be able to just be like, you don't need to know that was me. And maybe just check in with them differently. So that's a thought. I'm always like, yeah, I wonder what that's about. I'm like, do I need the acknowledgement? Do I need the thank you? I don't know. I have to figure that out.
I'm the person who will donate it. I need them to know I did it, but I don't go the extra step of sharing the thing because frankly that's way too many steps.
Yeah.
I started one of my friend's sons is leukemia, and it's really bad now. And Vanessa, you met him at Ian's fundraiser, the one who looks like the famous rock star. I can't think of his name now.
Oh.
You were freaking out that he was there. We took pictures. Cousin Don. Anyway.
Okay.
So I actually took the step of sharing his fundraiser, and I never do it. I barely shared my own husband's. So seriously, no joke. I shared it earlier today, and I was like, wow, you never do that. I even noticed that I don't do it.
So why did you do it?
Dawn did a lot for me with Ian, and behind the scenes, and I didn't even know half of it until much. And I was like, you know what? It's not that I can repay it. I mean, I can't repay the debt, and I'm not going to even pretend to try. Yeah. I'm just grateful he did it. Yeah. But if this is something I can do to help him and ease his burden a little bit, then I will do that. Because I can't do much for him. Mm-hmm. I wish that I could, but in this COVID time, we can't be around this kid.
Yeah.
You know.
Christy's saying always
do whatever little bit I can.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Christy was saying always the eye contact and community, pay for people's food behind you wherever you shop. I always wear my mask, by the way, while shopping, but we share everything here and have cute little cupboards for folks who can't afford things. It's really neat. I love that. I was actually asking a church, and maybe it was like a month ago now, to be fair, but they said they couldn't take my stuff other than food because they didn't have any place to store it. And that was like a big bummer. I was like, wait, but... So, I mean, I ended up giving it to a different foundation, but it seems to be harder right now to donate stuff other than perishables. So, if anybody has any ideas of places, I'd like to make a giant list of places to donate. Yeah, like, I really want to, I want to make a big list of places that we know that are currently accepting things. And also, I told my daughter, because she was actually feeling bad for an older man that was crossing the street. This is actually really, really sweet. And we were going fast, and she was like, oh my gosh, is he going to be okay? He's all old, and he's crunched over, Mommy, and he's trying to cross the street, and like, I want to stop and help him. I was like, about to burst out in tears. I'm like, I'm sure he'll be fine. People will slow down for him. And I was trying to be positive about it, whatever. And then we started having this big conversation of what we can do and how things are hard to do certain things right now. And I said to her, when things calm down with the pandemic, I will take you to someplace called a soup kitchen or something like that or whatever. And she was struggling with that concept of like what that means. But my number one thing when like people are really having a difficult emotional time, I always say it's helping others that can really easily bring you out of it. Which is why treating for me helps me tremendously. And things like that. But there's also getting out of your comfort zone. So like instead of me treating, going to a place that I'm not familiar with, where I am a little bit more vulnerable feeling, this is a different source of kindness because it's harder for me to do. Just like for Kristen, she's even saying that even posting a donation thing for somebody else, for whatever reason, it's not really comfortable for you. So you doing that is a different source of kindness. And it probably is a trigger for you. So it's more helpful in a sense to everyone, really, because anytime we can get out of that comfort zone, it's more enlivening for our souls. So, all right, so I'm going to ruminate a little bit about the homework before I post it. But if you guys, I would beg you to think of just something a little different of how to help others, and that would be great. Looking for that vulnerability piece because you don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So, yeah. And with that, I'm going to go clean up my night. And I might do a live reading of Room on a Broom. Should I do that? What do you think? Renee's like, I'm tired.
A rough couple days.
I understand that. Carrie, you want to hear it?
I fall asleep. You're reading. What's that?
Should I do Room on a Broom reading tonight, or should I do it another night?
Another night. I think you've done enough today.
Okay, I've done enough today. Letting you all know, I've done enough today.
Let me tell you, she had a really tough job today, Carrie. She had to track a stink bug while I was being massaged.
Yes, and not just the treating today. I had a live stink bug visitor, which I haven't had in a long time. And stink bugs are very, very special because you can't crush them. And they like to...
Just flush them.
You can flush them, but I won't catch them. And I said, Carrie's not here, so this thing's not getting trapped. And, and it likes to go around the perimeter of my room over and over again, usually on the borders, usually like just around the top. Sometimes it will stop at my curtain rod and do a little Cirque du Soleil and the bulbs on the end. Didn't do that today, thank God, because then I always worry it's going to go on the curtains, but it didn't do that.
I thought it would be way more fun to hang out over my closet.
So he just kept going around and around, and then like he turned back, then we came back around, and then he hovered right over Kristen's stuff. And I was like, maybe I should move your stuff. And she's like, what? Don't tease me. So I had to move it away from the wall because it was...
And at one point she's like, I have to move it because I feel like he's gonna fall.
Yeah, I feel like he was like really thinking about taking a jump.
I kept sitting up and like, she's like, stop sitting up.
Stop looking. Christy's trying to tell me a story. She said, oh, well, schools and churches can make them for non-perishables. I'm not sure. Around us, it's a little different, probably. She said, I want to tell you a real quick story. I had the best neighbors move in, and oh my God, this young man did a ringing bowl for me. It ruled, like a singing bowl, probably.
Oh, singing, yeah.
And then what'd you say? Ate one, like a stink bug on your BlackBerry? What? I was like, singing bowl, you didn't eat that. I got it now. You ate a stink bug on your BlackBerry trying to get that taste out of your mouth. I can't imagine. That's crunchy and not satisfying. All right.
When I used to do research at the residential in Syosset and Mercy First,
yeah,
the buildings are so old, and like you would hear, I had an administration building, and then you hear random like, ah! Because they would just fall from the ceiling tiles.
Really?
The ceiling tiles, because there was infestation, and just land in front of you on your desk. You could go like, ah!
I'm pretty sure that would give me a lot of panic, like really fast. If that was
Never knew when they were coming.
Yeah, if that was a factor for my day of like, you never know when it's gonna happen, no, that would be a deal breaker. I'd be like, no, I don't know if I'm gonna have things falling from the ceiling at me. I'm out of here. I gotta get out of here. That's really funny. A freaking stink bug. Christy, one time I had a bee in my mouth because it was on my lollipop. And I don't know if I'm allergic to it. The chances are highly probable. So, I was like, what is the flavor? Bad. Anyway. Knock on wood, no, I have not.
Bottom of my tongue by a bee in my soda can.
Oh yeah, that's pretty common.
Okay, so I probably would have died instantaneously, but that's, But I did it, and I'm here. Anyway, everybody, have a wonderful night. World of Facebook. I hope you all figure out how great you are. And how Zoom is so much better, and you should log on to Zoom. Anyway, night-night.